Hello, this is Deanne from Small Kind of Mighty, and here in the Northern Hemisphere it's back to school time, so I have got something for you that I am very excited to share. As we're moving from summer into fall, I've got something that if you're an educator or a childcare provider, you can do with kids during the day, or if you're a parent, you can do this as an after-school activity or on the weekend. So lots of you seemed excited about my free Nature Journaling for Kids download, but I've also heard quite a bit of skepticism about whether this is something that you can really do. My kids are too little, I don't have the time, I'm too busy, it's too much work. So I am here to tell you that you can do this, and I've got something for you that will help you do it with zero preparation time. Whoa. I have got for you a fall nature sound hunt. And before you say, no, I don't need another nature scavenger hunt printable, this version is different from the others that you would have seen in 5 important ways, and I'll get to those in just a minute. If you're new to my channel, then you might be wondering, what free nature resources is she talking about? So make sure you check out my How to Make a Nature Journal video, and then my follow-up video, Nature Journaling for Kids, and I'll put links to everything in the description. The videos and the blog posts and the download are all 100% free resources just for you. And stay tuned, because in addition to the free resources I just mentioned and the fall sound hunt, I have got an additional resource for you, and I've also got some cute footage of some chunky wildlife, and who wants to miss that? So here's the 5 reasons why this nature scavenger hunt is so awesome. Reason 1, like everything I create, it's both inclusive and accessible. Reason 2, typically nature scavenger hunts are just lists of things that kids can see. Now, not only does this exclude visually impaired children, but it also can make the activity quite frustrating for kids if they aren't able to find the things that are on the list. So, for example, birds, insects, amphibians, all these things can be really difficult for kids to see. But this is a sound hunt. Reason 3. So not only does a sound hunt take the pressure off in terms of finding things, it also helps kids really listen to and connect with and be mindful of their surroundings. Reason number 4. Scavenger hunts are usually just a list of nouns. Things like, let's find a mushroom, or let's see a squirrel. But in this package, I've instead focused on you using a lot of core vocabulary. For emerging communicators in particular, we really need to focus more on core language instead of fringe vocabulary. So what do I mean by core words? Well, let me give you an example. It's more important for us to be able to teach a child how to say, I am hungry, than it is for them to say, cookie. I am hungry. All of those 3 words are core words. Cookie is fringe vocabulary. When we focus on teaching kids core vocabulary like verbs, pronouns, adjectives, instead of fringe vocabulary like most nouns, what we are doing is teaching them to communicate in a way that will be much less frustrating for them, and they're not just making requests. So let me give you an example of how you can focus on core vocabulary using a full sound hunt. Let's say you're walking in the park with a toddler in a stroller. If you stop, kneel down next to them, look at them, and say, listen, do you hear the wind blowing through the trees? Then you can check off the item from your list, but you've also had a really sweet moment with your kid. You've modeled to them how to use the language that they're going to need to use 90% of the time, which is core. And you've also shown them how important it is to stop and be mindful of their surroundings. Okay, so reason 5 why the full nature sound hunt is even more awesome than anything else you've ever done is it's obviously designed to encourage your children to spend time and do things outside, but you don't have to go on a walk to do it. In fact, you can even do this activity inside. Okay, I'm going to share with you next some pictures and footage that my partner Jim kindly took for us of me and my sons doing a full nature sound hunt. For those of you that don't know, both of my sons are autistic, and my son Owen is non-speaking, so he uses an iPad app to communicate. This app is an example of something termed AAC, which stands for Augmentative Alternative Communication. The first item on our sound hunt was listening for the sound of the wind blowing through the trees, and Owen liked this one because it gave him a chance to make his blowing sound. That's what he's doing with his hand in front of his mouth. Here I'm using my son's communication app to say, let's listen. Do you hear? And then for each one of the sounds on our list, when we heard it, we checked it off on my iPhone. The app I used for the checklist on my iPhone is First Then Visual Schedule HD from Good Karma Apps, and I'll quickly show you how it works. The reason I used First Then Visual Schedule is because the boys are familiar with it. It's easy for them to use. In fact, there was a little bickering regarding who was going to check the items off the list. There's no writing. They just tap on the screen, or in the case of Owen, he prefers the drag and drop feature. I don't have to print anything out or worry about losing pens, so it's terrific for this kind of activity. And it also qualifies as a form of AAC. Now, I know a number of parents are concerned about screen time and their children, but we aren't going outside with my phone and watching YouTube.
I actually think this is a perfect use of technology, and I really don't see it as any different to using other tech like binoculars or magnifying glass. I'll give you a quick look at First Then Visual Schedule. I won't make this too long because they've already got a ton of resources on their website, including videos outlining how to use the app and what the app's features are. So I'll link to the website in the description box. But here you can see an example list that I put together, and at the bottom of the screen there's the 5 different views that you can use to get through the list. So there's a simple one icon view, first then view with 2 icons, the checklist view, then a view that lets you drag each item into an envelope, and then the view that Owen prefers, which is dragging an item from the left of the screen to the right. So that's First Then Visual Schedule. Another item on our sound hunt list was listening to a squirrel eating, and we were lucky enough to happen upon a chubby little fellow having his dinner. He took off up a tree, but then obligingly posed and carried on eating, so that worked out well. Alright, so to recap, here's all of the nature journaling resources I've got for you so far. There's the free 10-page Nature Journaling for Kids download, together with videos and blog posts. The Fall Sound Scavenger Hunt printable, which includes ideas for how to use it, a list of core words you can easily use with the activity, and some ideas for how to incorporate them, books to read in conjunction with the activity, and, drumroll, if you have First Then Visual Schedule or you're interested in buying the app, I can share with you the file so you can just download the checklist onto your phone. I've got plans to make autumn scavenger printables that cover the other senses, and I will also be putting some together for the other seasons. If this is something you're excited for, then please subscribe to my channel and comment below to let me know what you're looking forward to most. Thanks so much, and bye for now.